Akash Inti, the real reflection of you. Dodging a couple stray vines here in the Watchung Reservation, managed by the Union County Parks Commission. And well, while I'm not a tour guide of the Union County Parks Commission officially, I feel like unofficially I am, since I've been here just about every single day, exploring some of the different trails and really knowing kind of almost like the back of my hand what trails go to where and where these different trails may lead to. Able to craft different experiences for whomever may join me on these trail experiences. Nonetheless, what's going on with me? Well, I've been studying a lot recently, and I've been having these bouts of, I guess, enthusiasm, these bouts of passion. And, well, not passion in the ways that you may think, but maybe in those ways too. Passion in the sense of almost this knowingness and understanding of what the things that I create, the products that I create, the experiences, the sensations that I create, understanding that a touch better. You know, I found that it's so important for us to know what is it that we actually create, to be able to explain that to someone else. Because in our ability to explain what it is we create to others, it makes it more real and tangible to them. And while we may be an incredible creator, purveyor of experiences, products, services, you name it, if you don't know how to explain it, if you don't know how to convey what it is that we actually create or make for others, to be able to serve them, to service them, to provide something with which they need, well, it's almost kind of useless, at least in the sense of the ability to transact upon it, the ability to provide for oneself as a result of those services. That is why I study communication, and that's the essence of why communication means so much to me specifically, is to be able to communicate not only ideas, not only experiences, not only businesses, not only products, not only services, not only value, but to communicate this. You see, how would nature communicate that to the individual? Well, in every single manner, every single way, shape, and form, by the way that it is, how it's so tactile. As I'm walking through this swamp pond area, I feel the leaves brushing against my shoulders, some different types of bushes, whether they be raspberry bushes or some type of thorned bushes catching on my clothing. I inhale the fresh air and the freshness, sometimes passing by a sense of nature intended for a specific purpose, whether that be a lavender bush or a sprig of lavender or some other bush of scent. A little frog jumping around. I see you, little frog. Watch out before I catch you and then eat your frog legs, because that is a meal for some people. Perhaps I've never had it before, but my dad told me one time he had frog legs. Anyways, nature also provides us with such a sensory-rich experience in the sense of visually looking at the way that the reflections of the water catch my eye, the way that the leaves above reflect the algae and seaweed below, and the rippling of the water that simply provides a shimmer to the eye that's unbelievable. The sounds of nature, the sounds of the crickets, the sounds of the frogs, the sounds of something wrestling in the bushes, whether I know it or not. You see, nature provides us with such a sensory-rich experience. And that's almost what keeps us coming back, or that's what keeps me coming back every single day. I don't know what I'm going to find over here. And I love that. There's a mystery. Whereas, yeah, I could play a video game, but I kind of know, obviously I don't know everything, but I kind of have a good sense of, okay, this is what'll be there. And someone who plays a video game might be like, well, when I go to nature, I've got a good sense of what nature will be like. What are you talking about, you fool? And I'm like, you're right, I am a complete fool. Why are you listening to me still? But then again, the fool is sometimes fun to listen to because, well, the fool is also absolutely brilliant. There's a fine line between brilliance and tomfoolery. That's why the tomfool is sometimes known as the brilliant one. Just take a look at Shakespeare. But we are not talking about Shakespeare here. Anyways, I've simply been noticing more and more what it is that brings me here every day. Why do I like coming back here every single day? And there's something about nature that every single day I will not get bored. Yeah, I'll find different spots within the woods to hike, but that's only because I kind of want to. I kind of want to explore different areas. I'm trying to see, you can see the, I wouldn't call it seaweed because it's definitely not seaweed, but I would call it algae at the very least. You can see the shimmer of the water, the dragonflies, mating, communicating, etc., just above the water. None of the water, as the sun glows through the water in and of itself, you can see small movements here and there. Nothing really, actually. I thought I could see small movements, but there's really nothing moving under the water, at least in this particular location right now. But who knows? I also find myself becoming inspired by nature every single time I'm out here. I don't know what it is, but there's something that makes me want to not only speak, not only come back, not only listen, but experience it. And again, I know what it is. It's that we're biological beings, that we're beings of nature, and that innately we're connected to this. I'm connected to this. As I'm seeing myself in this habitat right now, as I'm moving around, I see a reflection of myself. I see a different part of myself that maybe is unseen typically. As I walk through these trails, I find new pathways. I find new ways of seeing the world around me, and that in and of itself helps clarify some of my mind's chatter, the thoughts that I may have. I find always maybe not always, but almost always, as I walk through nature, my mind settles. I feel better. Like in terms of breathing, becomes a lot easier. And any problems that I may have had prior to being in nature, they somehow subside. They cease to exist. And it feels like the game of nature begins all over again. Keep up, thrive, stay sexy.